Okay, hello, welcome to this 7th live stream of my cat game. So today I will be fixing. Oh, I hear myself. It's because here we go. I could hear myself for a second because it started transmitting. Whatever. So today I'm gonna fix something very specific. Show you what the problem is. So here is the game, and you can probably notice that there's lines like flashing here back and forth. Yeah, and so these lines happen because in the tile set, see this flashing every now and then. There you go again. So these lines happen because in the tile set, if we look, like this brown tile, for example, is this one, and just to the right of it and to the left, there is totally transparent stuff, right? So those things will, since you end up exactly on the edge of the tile, so the tile's this one big image, and then the tiles you sort of pick out using a rectangle, or if you were speaking in more graphics programming terms, you would pick out like some UV rectangle in here. So these funny glitches that we see sometimes here, blank blank, there you go. Those happen because you end up exactly on the seam, and then sometimes you see a bit of the one next to it instead. And so I'm gonna try to fix that. And there's a couple of different ways to try to fix that, but the most common one is to add, like, I keep the source tile set just as it is, but then I try to add the sort of a little padding, like around each tile I will add 1 pixel border that I generate. And what I will do is, so for each tile in the tile set, each tile will become get 1 extra pixel all around the edges, and I will take those pixels from the nearest neighboring pixel inside, and then I will generate a new tile set, and that one will only be used sort of while you're in the game, and I still keep this as the source data. So I just generate that when the game runs, and that should fix that issue. And I've looked around at there's some people that seem to do some kind of funny thing in shaders where they do some funny offsets, but it all seems a bit weird and hacky, and this is actually more straightforward. You just process the texture a bit, put in some padding pixels, and then of course those padding pixels, I will still only use this much for each tile, and there will be like a tiny border outside. In this case there will be a brown border, in this case it will be like brown border here, and then a green border all around. Here is a bit gray, and up here it will be like green, and then we get brown again. And I still only use the same region of the tile, but then whenever it bleeds out, it bleeds into something that is the same as the stuff that it was supposed to show, so it doesn't matter, right? So I will try to do that, and so we'll see how that goes. And also, since last time I've just been toying around with some graphics. I want to get started on these sort of NPCs in the game, like this waterfall you're supposed to be able to talk to, but I'm doing some technical things right now to try to fix stuff like this. Yeah, okay. So the tile set, if we open this containing folder, no, not this one. This was, let's close this, go here. The tile set is just this file here. So let's see how exactly we are gonna do this. So in game.odin, in game init, here I load the tile set here, and so I guess I need to load this picture and then process it a bit to add the padding around the tiles. Hello, creativity. And yeah, so I'm just gonna try to do it, and I will need some kind of visual representation of this. So I will try to have like, oh, I closed the game. I will try to have like draw the tile set somewhere in the world. Of course, I could look here, but like I said, this one I won't actually. Well, okay, I'm not sure exactly how. Maybe I can just change the one I draw in here. So the reason, like, no, it's fine. I will draw the one with the padding. I will draw in the world somewhere, so I can just look at it a bit. That will be fine. So let's start by just trying to draw the tile set here, and then I can change it to draw the one that has some padding added to each tile. So let's see here. Here I load the texture. Let's go. So we're gonna just hack in some temporary code to draw this, and then we will remove that, and then we will use it. Then we'll use the correct tiles later. So just at the end here, we will go like, okay, let's draw a texture. And what texture do we want? Well, I have in the big global memory struct, I have my tile set. This is a load texture, returns a texture handle. So I have to resolve that one to an actual raylib texture. And that I do like this. I just copy this code down here. Sorry about that. Draw a world. I wanted to make it a bit more like this. So this thing, this get texture resolves a texture handle, which is these handles that I use to refer to textures. Oh, this one actually got the correct one because I copied the code from where it draws the tiles. So I get the texture for the whole tile set, and then we need to know, okay, this is texture we're gonna draw. So this is a nice Odin thing. Look, get texture returns a texture and a bool, and the bool is if it says true if it actually found the texture correctly or not. And then you can do this like, okay, I initialize texture and okay, like this, and then you can have a little semicolon on the same line, write like okay, and this is what the if actually checks. So this part initializes some stuff, and this checks okay. So in here, I know that okay is true, and then I can use my texture, which is quite nice. Anyways, so I need to know the rect. I need to draw texture source rect. I use this one, yes. This function just returns a rect for drawing the whole texture. Source rect is draw source rect text full. I think this one, yeah, this takes a raylib texture, so that's fine. So we have our source rect. That's just where in the texture are we drawing, and then destination rect is where are we gonna draw it. And I will steal some other code from up here. I think draw text, yeah. These functions are just made for making it easy to draw textures at specific position. Dest rectangle. And then I need a position. Let's try drawing it at the origin. I could write like that, or I could just write empty because everything is 0 initialized by default. And then the origin doesn't matter. Rotation 0. This is the tint. Compile that. Let's see if our tile set should live. Oh, there it is. It's down here. Okay, let's move the player starting position because currently it's over here. I can move the cat here, kind of, and then we will draw the thing here. And like I said, this is just for previewing what we're currently doing. I'm gonna throw out this debug code later. Let's save that, reset. Now we begin up here, and I'm gonna press a hotkey so this is always on top, so I do less switching back and forth. Like that. And then we just need to, this is the position. So maybe we do minus 100, maybe like that. No, the other, wait, minus. Oh, that was way too much actually. 32 maybe. Where did it go? Where did it go? Confused. Yeah, I'm just confused about coordinate systems again. There's something about when I just started this. Oh, okay. I know what's happening here. This vector here is actually the this is the origin of the thing I'm supposed to draw. Destrect is the rectangle which also contains the position. So I need here something like this, I think. Minus, of course. So raylib positive is downward because it's sort of like up here it's you think like a UI. You start up here and then X goes this way and Y goes this way, which makes sense. But in my game maybe it would have been better to have X go this way and Y go upwards, right? But I tried to do that and having all the just for the sake of making interfacing with raylib simpler, I chose to not do that. Let's see. Yes, the question is this is for debugging tile bleeding, right? Yes, exactly. So I'm just gonna put my tile set into the world so I can look at it. So I'm gonna put this slightly higher up, maybe at 80. Moving up. Minus 50. Yeah, now we're getting somewhere with this. 60 minus 90. I think this will be good enough. Yeah, this looks good. So yeah, so I want to preview the end result. But this is currently just the source tile set, but I will change it to show the one my processed version later. Okay, that's that. Let's go back to game init. And so here I load the tile set texture. So let's take this one and make a new texture that we later use in here. So let's try to do that. And I will probably need to copy the tiles one by one. So I will probably need to loop over the number of tiles and blah 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 to make sure it's all nice. I can keep that up there in the corner like this maybe. It's nice. I can just make it smaller and smaller. Oh no, this is actually behind my face on the. I realize up here is sort of the forbidden zone. Oh well, okay, it's not the webcam is not huge, but put it down here. It's so easy. It's always annoying to look at the streams where people forget that they have a webcam and then they're working behind the webcam. You like want to scream at them like, no, stop, but then it's a recording and it's too late. Okay, so I need to check out some things in raylib actually. Like there is a create. How do I want to like load texture, draw texture, unload texture. I want to create a new texture of a certain size and then copy stuff into it. Update textures. Okay, this one can do some stuff like that. Is render texture ready? Unload texture. Is texture ready? Load render texture. GPU texture with rectangle interact with new data. That's good. Okay, so I just need to know how to make a texture. Right. Oh, actually, maybe it's an image I want because so to me, yeah, I assume texture is something living on the GPU in raylib, and image is sort of like you manipulate on CPU side, and that's fine for my. It's usually a bit less tricky to do that. So here, load image, export image. Image copy. So I think I'm just gonna check Yeah, later I can upload it. So I used to like, I use the image API to create it, and then later image load texture. Let's look at the chat here. Creativity says image to load texture from image to update texture. Yeah, so what is an image then? Ah, I get it. So I just put my data into a raw pointer and then I see. I guess I can use, like you said, gen image as well. Okay, so this one will just, question is, maybe I don't even need this gen image color. Okay, so this one I can just make a whole big image of one single color. Or I guess the alternative is just to manually fill out this and manually build your data, and then I think that's just as easy actually. So maybe I'll just do that. Dun dun dun. I just have to get the pixel format correct, which is uncompressed. I guess I want something with alpha because I have transparency. I guess uncompressed R8, G8, B8, A8 will be fine. That will mean I use U unsigned 8-bit integers. I'll see what the source data I get out, because I need to sort of, this one is already loaded, which is maybe I'm doing this a bit weird here. Okay, let's see. Load image. So I think what I'm gonna do is, yeah, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do something like this. I'm just gonna load the image from disk as tile set. Like the one I actually load into a texture, I'm gonna stop doing that. And I'm gonna load it as an image instead. Okay, let's do that. I'll do it. I'm just doing it here. I might move this later, but I'll add a funny scope here just to note to myself. So tile set image is rl.load image tileset.png. Then we have our source. And then we can go down here and let's create a new image. Tileset padded is an rl.image. That is, I will fix the data very soon, but I will just calculate the width and stuff first. That's tileset source. Wait, what does this one actually return? Never mind, it works. Tileset source. I'm just gonna make these names a bit shorter. TS source dot width plus. Okay, now I have to be a bit smart. So I have my tileset has 4 tiles, and I need 1 padding there, 1 there. No, so just per tile it's 2 extra per tile. So it's just this plus 4 times 2. The height is ts.source ts source.height plus 4 times 2 also, because it's the same for each tile. Wait, no, this is wrong, because I'm here I'm just adding it. Wait, the 4 here is wrong. I don't know how many tiles there are in here. That's the problem. So I have to calculate that, of course. Num tiles x is ts source.height divided by, I think I have a metric called like, let's see, tile height. 16. Yeah, okay, it's not even metric, it's just like this. It's num tiles y, not no num tiles x. So then you know. Then you know correctly what is what. Okay, good. Oh, the height is actually an F32. Okay, well, never mind. I'll fix that later. Wait, what am I doing? I'm trying to. I was inside my trying to create my image here, and then I was trying to create a variable called numTilesY inside my struct initializer. Okay, MIP maps, 1 by default. By default? What does that mean? Does that mean if I write 0, it's 1, or do I have to write 0? Format is ts source.format. I'm just going to keep the same format, which I have to look at what that format is, but image type bits per pixels RGBA. Okay. Right. I'm just gonna try this. I'm just gonna check what format this says I have after loading. Okay. You're asking if I'm doing padding or insets. It's padding. So I'm so in the chat we ask if it's like inset would be to just use the inside here, but then it will not look like I wanted it to do when I made the tile. So what I'm gonna do is make the tiles 1 pixel wider in each add 1 pixel on each side around it, and then I'm gonna take the nearest pixel inside and put that outside, so it gets like a bit bigger, and then I only use the inside. So I make it bigger, padding it, and then I use an inset on that to just keep the inside. So now we'll reset the game, and then in the here it should say okay, yeah. So it says the TS padded format is uncompressed R8G8 blah 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 blah, which is exactly what I expected or wanted or whatever. Okay. tspadded.data should be let's see. How do I almost never alloc raw in Odin anymore. Yeah, I used to mem.alloc. So does this give me a raw pointer? Yeah. So then I say I want tspadded.width, tspadded. No, what am I saying? tspadded.height times. Well, I know it's it's 4 because it's. Let's see here. Yeah. I have 1, yeah, so it's 4 bytes per pixel. Sounds correct, I think. Okay, we have that. And then we can also see if this compiles. Of course, yeah. Something complaints. Oh yeah, this one actually says if the allocation was okay. And if I got all this memory and blah blah blah, I'm gonna check something. How do I load image? Am I expected to? Okay, I will just do like this: defer rl.unload image ts source, because I won't be needing this one. And then I want to also tileset padded. So I want to not load. Currently, I only support loading textures from a path. Let's see, what does this do? This just... Okay. I think I'll just make a load texture that supports... So this is load texture path. We say that load texture will now be a proc of either load texture path or the one I'm just about to write. Copy this load texture image. Like that. Okay. Well, I seem to have based my whole texture loading and unloading stuff on the hash of the path. So that doesn't work really. Could of course hash the whole image data, but I'm thinking what I should wait. What should I do instead? So the problem here is that why do I need to do this? Why do I need to do this? Okay. I do this partially because there's a hotkey I can press to reload all the textures, and then it goes through all of them and then reloads them from their path. Okay, okay, I know what I'm gonna do. Since, I mean, there's no way for me to do that anyways. There's no path to get this from since I make this texture when I init the game. So I'm just gonna, what the hell am I undoing? There we go. What I'm gonna do instead is I'm just gonna upload it to a texture and then leave it for now. Not gonna complicate things too much. So tileset pattern will just be rl dot load texture from image ts padded. And I know this texture is currently empty, but so it will just be black right now. No, it will be transparent because the alpha is 0, but that's fine. Game oh, we're in the wrong file. Game memory. Put this at the bottom. This is a bit of, might be a bit temporary. Tileset padded. This rl.texture. You see, almost all the textures I have in the game is like texture handled because I store them in asset storage, and then I have some ability to press F4 in my case, which is a hotkey that reloads all of them, and then all the references are still valid through those handles. But since I'm just gonna draw this one in draw world, it doesn't matter. So then I don't need to do the get texture here because I'm not getting the tiles anymore. I'm getting my text here is instead gmem.tilesetpadded. And no, but okay, I don't think memory.alloc actually it checks if, I guess the allocation error will be nil. Yeah. TS padded dot data. Okay, I see. This is a annoying thing with these double. I mean, this one already exists. This one doesn't. So I have to. Just, well, it's a bit unfortunate. I don't know what's the best Odin-esque way to do this, but so now I remove the things that makes a new variable. It just sets the equals this one and the data inside TS padded. And yeah, there we go. And now you see it disappear there. It reloaded there. It did an automatic reset of the game because it did a hot reload, but game memory had changed size. So instead of crashing, which it might do when you change the struct layouts in hot reload, it resets for you just to. Okay, let's try to do something like ts padded.data 0. Let me get out the image. So this is a raw pointer. Okay. Maybe I should just cast this to probably easier to do something like this. Struct pix. No. Pixel is a struct with RGBA U8. Isn't that the same as Raylib's color? Oh yeah, it is. So let's just do this. I think this should work. They pixels is color cast this. That I think. And this, let's ignore the error. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be fine. Oh yeah, I think you do like a transmute color. Oh. No, that's not how you write it. You write like that. Oh, rl.color. Excuse me. 241 transmute. Aha. All right, yeah, of course. Here I need to do this, and then I need to say that tspad.data equals raw pointer pixels. Yeah, maybe like that. Maybe this will work. It did something. That's very interesting. Aha. Oh, why am I doing it like this? So this is just a bit silly. I mean, I can just do make an array of rl.color, and make takes like the length. Okay, then I want actually, and then I don't even need to put in ×4 there or anything, blah, blah, blah. Do like that, reset, now it's all right. I was just too much making things complicated. And now it's funny because now we can do like for p in pixels, and then we can say p.r equals 255, and we can say p dot a equals 255. Now we should get like, reset this, we should get red. Yes, we get red. All good. So now we can actually do stuff. That took a bit longer than I wanted it to, but I haven't used these APIs and I got confused with the array initialization and stuff. Okay. Now I need to know how many tiles I'm looping over, which is num tiles y times, yeah, this is actually should be called like tile set height or something. So we need to like go for I in, how do I've forgotten demo.o. I've forgotten how to do the nice loops for I in. I just want to have like a tile index in 0. And we want to go up to less than tile set height times 4. So now I want to loop over all the tiles in the old one and copy them one by one. But I want to copy them at a slight offset, so I get essentially in this one at the end I will have them, but they will have a little padding between them, and then I will try to fill in the padding somehow. Can I copy like a, what's the easiest way to do this? I guess it's like copying a region of an image. Image. Draw pixel. But I kind of want to copy a portion of the image. Image from image. This one gets me a new image from another image. But I want, I mean, I can do that myself. It's, oh, maybe there is no copy because there's different image formats, and I do it a bit however I want. See. Image draw. No, actually this. Look, image draw. I can say from this to this image, from this image. Yeah, this is the one I want. rl.image draw. Emma. Draw, and I want to draw into TS padded. And I want to draw from TS source and the source rectangle. Okay. Source. So we just have to be a bit smart here and be like, I made a rect here is the same as this one. It's just I made a local alias for it. So this thing should be tile x is tile set tile index modulo 4, and I think tile y is tile index divided by 4. So then I can do something like this times, it's called tile height, but they're square, so it should be like tile size. Tile y times tile height tile height. So this is the width and this is the height. So that's my source reg. We're in the original tile set. We're in this one. Without editor here, but where in here do I copy from? So that's my source, I think. And then the dest is a rect with, and now I have to be a plus tile x. So tile x is 0 at the first one, and then at the second one there will be 2 extra pixels. So I think it's just times 2 plus tile y times 2. I think this should be, so this should be source dest, if I'm not. Source rect, dest rect, tint. Really is funny. It always has this tint going on. And I'm like, no. Okay, and then I did many funny things. Apparently I can't program Odin because I didn't put those things in. And this one wants a float 32. I'll have the same problem down here. And then it compiled. And then we do this. Haha, look. It worked. It's just this is wrong because it needs plus tile a. Ah, you see it. I don't offset them correctly. I just it needs to jump in 1 pixel on each side, so it should be plus tile x. Right. So I think. No, wait. it's okay. I put tile x in both cases. That's the first problem. So it is syncing, and now it's like that, which is also wrong. Wait, I have to think. So for this one, here I have 1 pixel. So it should be, yeah, 1 pixel. It should be like plus 1. What am I doing? Let's reset that again. Okay, so let's just take, so the first one, for the first one here, I'm at tile x 0. So this is 0. And then I am at tile, this is also 0. And then I add, this is also 0. And then I add 1. It should be fine. Let me try, this. I'm just gonna go over, I want to see exactly where I am in the tile set. It's a bit hard because I don't see where I am. There might be like, is the edge of it here? So I'm just gonna do like pixels dot r equals 255, no, p dot r equals 255, p dot alpha equals 255. Now it will be like this. So now I can actually see what I'm doing, because it's hard to know, like, oh, did I add it incorrectly or whatever. Maybe actually that was unnecessary. Okay. So now I get, so for this one, now tile x is 1. So I get 1 from this, but I need 1 extra. Gonna experiment a bit here. Okay, that's what I want. So if I remove this parenthesis, then this means 2 times and then 2 times tile y plus 1. There you go. Maybe I had this exactly this before. I just messed it up because I got confused. Okay, that's good. And now we're gonna try to go along the outer borders here to fill all this in. There's different ways to do this. I could like take the small rectangle. I can either walk along the border and try to fill that out, or I can take small rectangles and just I can take this rectangle on the left here and draw it into just outside, and maybe I'll try to do that. So this is just for copying, and then right here, fill in borders of added tile set. So this is, yeah, I put this in a scope so I can reuse source and dest keywords easily. But confusion. Let's do exact. I'm just gonna copy this. I'm gonna try to do the top part here first. Okay, what happens if I do this? Do I get like a nice? Should just like walk forward and no. Yeah, that's good enough. Because if I reset this now, yeah, I see this easily. Make it a bit bigger like that. So the source is this, but the height. So I'm gonna copy this row here. The height is exactly 1 pixel. No, that's the position. Wait. Yeah, so this is the height. So now it only has this one, and then I say that this is the same. And then can I just do like -1 here? Will that? What will happen? Nobody knows. Ta-da! It worked. All right. Maybe, I don't know if it's easier if I write like, no, never mind. I was thinking if I could break tile Y out, but it's a +1 here, so it doesn't work. It's funny how this one ended up outside. So this -1 here. So now I just remove this. And that's all good. So this is top. Yeah. I'm thinking I'll do something like this. Position in X is off 32. Take this stuff here because it's repeated everywhere. And then PY is this. Then I can just do like this. PX. Take this. PY. And this is just this is just PX, and this is just PY. Then you get some funny mismatches. I think I'll do like this for now. Odin is very picky with its casts. Actually, what I can just do is make sure tile X is f32 as well. So doesn't really matter. Roll these casts. Yeah, roll these. Just cleaning it up a bit. Since I need to do a bunch of these, it's nice to have short and nice variable names. Same thing with like TS can be f32 tile height. Like TS for tile size. Okay, all still good. Now we just go the funny easy stuff. So now what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna go around. Oh, I realized something. I don't have the proper padding in wider. Oh, because I already did this one, I was like, oh, there's only one pixel in between here. But actually, it's because I already did that one. So this is what's left to do for the bottom. But what I'm gonna do now is I've done the top, so I'm just gonna do the bottom left and right side, and then we'll think about the corners that are left over at the end if we want to do something about those. I don't know if it might be some corner cases where you get a bleeding in both directions at once, maybe, and then you would see that. We'll see. Bottom is, so now we need to take this one here. So then it's like the height is still 1, but the position is where I'm picking from in the original texture, this corner, plus the height of it, which is TS, -1, because I think. Because otherwise you end up picking outside math. And then this is the destination rectangle we want to put into this final texture. And for that one, we will put it. I think it's this. Yeah, I think it's just you add exactly the same thing, but skip the minus sign, and then you should be fine. And then I did something wrong. Okay. So I'm here. I've gone up from here to down here. So I know which, this is the Y position in the original texture. And then I say I want to take this, and then I'm putting it at like well, something's wrong. If I do TS +1, what happens then? Okay. Why is that correct? Let me see, is it even correct? It looks okay. On this one here, I seem to have like a yeah, I think it's correct. I'm just making sure why. Here it's I go all the way down. I add 16 pixels. I take away 1, so I'm at the 15th pixel. In this case, I'm at the 16th pixel. Oh wait, is it? Oh, of course, it's because there was a 1 here already. So yeah, I think that's why. So when I copy them originally, I add px times 2 dot tile y, and I add 1 because of the first line, the first pixel line, because I'm always offset 1 from the, like the origin of the old texture is 1 pixel in x and y offset. Oh well, I think that's correct. Now we can do the left side. And for the left side, so like this x, y, width, height. So now we to put 1 here, say we want to take something that's tile size high, but 1 wide. And we want to put it at py, we want to put it here. Like each tile starts here, this tile starts here, this tile starts here. And we want to take the source from yeah, I think that's correct for the left side here, because it needs to be up in this corner, and then you just take something that's as high as the tile. For the destination, so originally, this is the original destination rect. I'm just gonna copy that again. This is the original for the whole tile. So we still want this thing, and then we want to back off 1 pixel in x direction to the left. So I think this should work, and it did. And that's quick to do the left, and then we do the right. That was quite a good idea to copy the, because I got, what happened before was that I got confused, but because I lost these minus plus ones everywhere. So so this is the right one. So now we go, okay, we add a whole tile width from here to go over here, and then I think we go -1, because otherwise we already stepped outside the original tile. So that's our source rect. The destination rect will be, I think I just add plus TS here, and then I'm done. There you go. Something weird. Or is it just... I think it's nothing wrong. I think it's just this tile has some transparency in it. See the other ones? Yeah, so this one has a little notch in it that's transparent, but these all look correct. Excellent. So I could try to fix the corners, but I don't... I'll see if I ever see them, I will fix it. I'm not sure it... Yeah. It's if you get bleeding in both X and Y direction at the same time somehow. Then you'll see it. But what I could do there is to... I take this I take like this pixel and then that pixel and put like the average of them here or something. But that's good. That's good. Okay. So we have our new fancy texture. We're just gonna remove all that red stuff in it. Do like remove that, recompile, reload the game. There's your padded tiles. They almost look like they have a nice rounded shape now. Okay. Now since we have that, we can... We have our padded tile set. Now it's just a question of using this one instead of the other one when drawing the tiles, and we should be done. So just to, for our new viewers, the problem here is that you see these flashing lines here. Yeah, There. That's what's happening when, for this brown one, for example, it's the rectangle it draws from is just at the boundary, so sometimes it picks something in the next tile when it gets like when the camera is moving and stuff. And there's a couple of ways to fix that, and one way is to just you take the source tile set and you make a special one only for drawing in the game, and that one is padded, and that's what I've done here. I've padded it up nicely. Let's use that one instead. I can stop and go to draw world. First thing is to stop drawing the padded one. Then we go up to, so this is, where's the code that draws the tiles? This draws the tiles currently. And this gets the texture. So I just do like this instead for now. So before here I got my tile set texture from a texture handle, blah, blah, blah. I'll try to worry about exactly how I will load and how I will the resource management for that texture later. But so I do like that. If I just do this naively now, all the tiles will be offset. All the tiles would be offset. We can do that. And you see, it looks interesting now. So now I just need to fix this one. And this is a bit annoying because I think these function tileset rect, these are used both in the editor, and in the editor I still want to use the like source one because I don't want to display the padding ever. I only want that to be there for the padded version that I use to draw in the game, but I don't want it to be like shown in the editor here, because this is still fine for this. So let's see here what I think I can do. I mean, this doesn't do anything fancy. Oh wait, do I have already texture rect? Okay, this one, tile world rect, is always correct. This is where it should be in the world. That I don't need to change. It's fine. This one, however, is the one that fetches from the tiles, and it's used here. This is the editor code, I think. Yeah, in edit mode update, and it's used in draw world. It's only used in 2 places. Let's just add a padding. Px, Py is ints. And then I just need to do something similar, I think. So I need to do like, I need to add here. So this I will set this to 1 for both of. It's more like an inset. But whatever, I'm calling it px py. So for this one, so in X direction, oh, I removed my pretty drawing over here already. It was good for thinking about this, but I think I can manage anyways. So in the X direction, I have px times x. What does that give me? X is 0. If x is 0, and I'm at the first tile, and this is wrong, because I need to be 1 in. So I think it should be x plus 1. Then I can still send in px 0, and I get x plus 1. Okay, so if px then is 1, and x is 0, then I get 1. If x is 2, then I get 3. Is that correct? Because then I want to start in the tile set 3 tiles extra inside, sort of. So I have 1 extra pixel here, and there's 2 pixels in between here. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then I start there. So that's good, I think. So I think it's just the same here. Py times y plus 1. Hopefully. Oh, drawing in the editor. Oops, I restarted by accident. Pressing too many buttons. Let's go over here and see if everything magically fixes itself now when I... of course. Have that problem, and this is the... let's do like that. I say pad 1 in each direction. And then I have the problem here, because this is in the editor where I don't do padding. And then it all looks like crap. Huh. Interesting. Some of them look correct. This looks totally off. All the flipped ones. Is it all the flipped ones or? Let me see here. Let's remove this. Go to draw world. We check out. Okay, so this is the direct inside the tileset pad that we want to use. This looks totally... What are these? Oh, that's correct. Is it something with the flipping? That's wrong, but this one looks correct to me. Sorta. It's just not flipped correctly. Huh. Interesting. Let me think about this again. So I set in px as 1, and then I'm at the first one. This one has x is 0 for this one. This is x0, y0. So in this case, I'm up here. So py is 0, py is 1, x is 0. Then I get 1 pixel inside, and it's padded 1 pixel on each side, so that's fine. Then I go to this one. Now px is 1, x is 1. So then it gets px times 2, which sounds wrong. I get it, I think. Yeah, and these also look like they work because they're just on a line like this. So I mean, this looks like it's correct, but it's actually not because it's wrong. So for this one, I need it to be 3 pixels off, which means isn't it the same as, I mean, I think this is the same as before, but I think it's supposed to be like this actually. Yeah, there you go. So it needs to, I don't know why I didn't copy the code from where I generated this, because it's essentially the same offset into the, clicking everywhere. Now it looks correct, and let's walk back and forth. Make it bigger for the big reveal. And the flickering that you saw before is super gone. And yeah, so that works nicely, I think. I'm just trying to go both sideways and up and down to see if I can see. So like I said, I padded, I put in pixels all around the corner. I make a padded version and I put in the pixels all around it. But then I didn't put any in the corners to fill those out. But if I see those flicker, I fix it. Okay, that worked fine. I'll figure out maybe I need some better resource management for the padding texture later. Because currently it's sort of outside of the resource system completely. Maybe I need to do like a in the game shutdown. I need to currently let's see, what does asset storage do? I need to free that texture. Wait, what am I doing? Yeah, so I need to do this and then do the gmem.padded. No, it's called tileset padded. And then there's another thing I don't clean up. My tracking allocator would have caught this, of course, but because I upload this texture to texture down here. So what I can do here is, instead of this makes a array of rl.color that is ts this size, and then you can send an allocator here. So I just send in the temp allocator. So then this is a fire and forget memory. Then I think this will no longer, it's not complaining about memory leaks when I reset the game, which it would do otherwise. Like if I remove this temp allocator thing here, recompile. This is my log here. And you see here now it says, oh, you leaked all these bytes at this position. It says, because it uses the normal allocator and there's no free. But I use the temp allocator, which is fine. Some people like using defer. You can also use defer delete pixels, blah, blah, blah. Or you can use the temp allocator. Doesn't really matter which one you use. That's very nice. Okay. So what I was gonna do on top of this, which I talked about, was to get started on some kind of undo redo for my little editor, which is, of course, so this is a typical thing that's hard to add on at the end, but okay, let's talk about this. I'm just gonna commit these files to the repository so I can do the undo redo without being scared of ruining my stuff. Tile set padding to remove bleeding. Good. Good jul. Okay. So in the editor currently there's no undo redo. How long is this? I'm just checking how long the stream has been already. It's fine. So there's no undo redo in the editor currently. And undo redo is the kind of thing that is typically, it can be hard to add afterwards because it depends on where you add it. You can put undo redo in the data model. So you have like, oh, I have my data model, and the data model is sort of this low-level thing that your editor acts upon, and then there's undo built into that. But that's doing that when you're you're not doing that at the start of the project is quite dangerous, because then you need to redo all your editor code and all your data stuff if you make a new low-level data model underneath it all. Someone says in the chat that the waterfall is art. Thank you. So this is going to be an NPC you can go up and talk to. So, but this is just my test animation for it. But so the waterfall is going to be animated, and then this one you will be able to talk to. So that's what I will work on tomorrow. Not on stream, but I will try to work on doing the sort of some kind of interaction stuff with this waterfall and stuff. So that's be one of the things you do in the game. Talk to the waterfall in order to know how to get to your space, how to get your spaceship to fly away into space. Anyways, about undo redo. You can implement undo redo in your data model, which is like if you're doing a big, nice, proper general game engine, I would say that's the best thing to do. So because then you can get this kind of almost magic undo redo going, where you make a bunch of changes and then you commit those into the data model, and you've said that the undo steps are for these changes, and that those go in a bunch into the data model, and it all goes nicely like that, and they could undo and redo them and everything. Another way that people tend to do it is they tend to do what's called people like doing sort of command-based undo redo, where everything you do in the editor is a command, and those then you change the state of your whatever you're editing in the editor. Like in my case, I edit the world, and I can also edit the game object definitions. I can edit how these look and which art they use. This is the waterfall. This and such. Actually, oh no, I removed the waterfall. Oh no, oh now I would need undo redo. I just wanted to remove the face. Okay, now I'm in trouble. No, I'm not. But I'm just gonna replace some things here. We put this here, and then we take the waterfall, and the waterfall should be on layer -1, I think. -2, actually. No, -1. Are there... Oh no, it's supposed to be -3. Yes. Is there something? Which layer are these stones on? Those are -3. I can hold a little button here. Oh, I know what happens. I don't think... My editor is a bit broken. It doesn't... So I have a layer thing here. I can press Q and E to go through the layers, and it doesn't put this layer into things when I place them, but I can hold this button to see which layer everything has. It also works for the tiles. I can hold K and I can see which layers is the tile in. And this sort of, I use this up here to make a little background also. So all these are in tile layer -1, and these are blah blah blah. Anyways, what I wanted to say here was that you could have like in your editor. So in my case, I'm editing like the world and the object definitions and stuff. So I could have something that whenever I do anything in the editor, such as placing this one and removing it, there's a command, and the command can be like place thing, and place thing has like a do and like a do and an undo command, which then with a do command is sort of put it there, and the undo is remove it, and all that. I think that's sort of the worst solution to it almost. Well, you can get it working sort of nicely, but it's error prone because you might end up in situations where when you undo and redo stuff, you just made assumptions in your code about what it changes that just at the end doesn't really add up. If you change the data model and you sort of react to like whatever changed in the data model, we reload in the game, then that's good. I don't have the data model to do this, and I don't want to make command based stuff because it just makes my editor code very sad. So I'm gonna do instead what Dennis Gustafsson at Voxagon, someone linked this in the Odin Discord before, and it's a interesting idea. So instead of having a nice data model or doing the commands, if you're doing a small game, when I click the save button, it serializes everything and saves it to disk. Doesn't take any time at all. The thing that takes time, if it even took a lot of time, would probably going to disk. So what I'm gonna do is whenever I do anything in the editor that I want to have undo redo for, I will serialize the entire level stuff and whatever I need whatever that could be affected by an undo step. I will serialize that, put it into an array and say, this is the thing that's happened. It's the whole thing. And it will, that's one undo step. And then whenever you undo it, just deserializes those again and puts them back as the state. So it just takes the whole thing and throws it. But actually that, you have to remember like what the scope of your game is, and it's sort of a thing you can do when you have small games. So Dennis Gustafsson, he's the guy working on the, the tear down and stuff. So he has used this in all his games, he says, and it works fine. So that's what I want to try to do. So we're essentially sort of, I take this tile, I click, I place this tile, and because of that, I recorded an undo step of the state just before I placed it, and that has the whole serialized state of the whole thing saved, not to disk, but to memory, and they live in sort of a stack or array or whatever you want to call them, and then you can just deserialize from that. Shouldn't be too hard to do. The hardest part is probably I need to reshuffle some. There's two things to this. I need to reshuffle. I need to make sure my level loading code is clean that up a bit, and I also need to make sure that code can load from whatever state blob I have in memory instead of loading from a file on disk, which it currently does. So I want to make that stuff a little bit nicer. So let's go to, I think I have a load level function. This is the thing that currently loads, and I hate these functions. This is a very good opportunity to fix this one. Because it loads from disk and it just, yeah, I don't know. But anyways, I'm trying to figure out here what the best way to do this. So, because this is currently, this is all a bit messy. It currently lives in game init, where this code I just made earlier in the stream also lives now. So there's game init, and it loads textures and blah blah blah. And this is also run anytime you do like a hard reset using F6, which is the wipe the memory and reset the game as if you just restarted the whole exe. So this is all a bit messy. So I just want to clean this up in some way. And I think, oh yeah, I should probably also mention, I should just show the article. I will link it in the description, but he wrote a short article about it, and this goes on. So it's undo for lazy programmers. And he just says that people recommend the command pattern for implementing undo redo in a level editor. It works. It's a lot of work, blah, blah, blah. So he says 10 years ago, I came across an idea I've used ever since, blah, blah, blah. It's super easy to implement and works like a charm, blah, blah, blah. So he says, the level editor already has the function to serialize the level state and save it to disk. It also has the ability to load a previous saved state. The idea is simply to use those to implement undo redo. I create a stack of memory buffers to serialize the entire level into that after each action is completed. Undo is implemented by walking one step in the stack. To load a state, redo is implemented in the same way by walking a step down the stack and load. This obviously doesn't work for something like Photoshop unless you have terabytes of memory. But yeah. Essentially, he says that this might work fine for a chunky game like this. So we're gonna try that. See how it goes. If it's too slow, we can think of something else or just cry. Okay, this function outputs a bunch of entity positions and a bunch of tiles, and I don't like this function. So object positions is where I place like the cat and the funny waterfall. Tiles is obviously where I put the tiles. So I'm gonna do something as fascinating on stream as to refactor code. Because this is a bit messy. So what we need to separate here is that this is currently loads a file and does lots of blah blah blah. And so I want to load the file into my serialized format, like the format that's not the game state, but it's whatever state it is that I can bring into the game to make the game happy. And I think I have something like that. That's LF, which is called level format, and that's a level tile and a level object positions. And these don't reference anything of. These don't reference any runtime data. They just live totally like this has a UID built into it. It doesn't know any like level object position. It doesn't know that it's supposed to be a if it's the cat or the waterfall. It just has the UID of which type, and the types live in a separate file. I mean, I don't know technically if I don't know technically if what I will probably save is these data structures just like they are. I don't know technically if that is a serialized state. What does actually serialized mean? Well, I mean, I know what, but is it actually? Okay, I guess it says like, yeah, it's translating data structure into a format that can be stored. Data buffers, yeah. So like people usually mean like you put it into a blob of memory, but my blob will be less opaque because I will have like this. Serialized state is my level format, and then it's also the object types, which is minimize the game load level. I do down here object positions. Oh yeah, it's in here. Object position. Okay. For the object positions, I seem to use. No, wait. What? Level. Yeah, those are the object positions. Where does it save? Where does it save the serialized object type? Serialized objects. Okay, this one I'm wondering about. So I have my serialized objects. Okay. So before it loads the level, it goes through. It takes. So I have a file called just to make this. People have no idea what I'm talking about. I have this file called objects.json, and this contains all the object types that are available in the game. And this maps to in the game, you can go into the editor, go to edit objects, and you can define different objects that are not tiles, that are like big things. Like this waterfall. And these are saved in here, and they are referenced by a unique identifier like this one. And then in the level you have a bunch of object instances, object positions that reference the type and then a position and then which layer they should end up in. Oh. Anyways. So my serialized state is, well, the whole level format. What's in these names? What level format? Yeah, we'll see if I change the naming later. So serial state is the thing that I want to store in the game. Store in an array or something to keep as my. I will both use it to like when you load stuff, when you load things from disk to initialize the game or reset the game, it will load into this state, and then it will also use this to store a bunch of these for level for undo redo. Maybe I should need to put these into some kind of data blob to make sure they are it's faster, so I can just copy it out somehow. No, I don't think that matters. No, never mind that. We'll see. Let's not worry too much. Okay, so I have a serialized state. Now I want to make a function that gives me a serialized state based on a level file and an objects file. That's the first thing to do here. And then we will take that thing and get out our runtime level stuff from that, make sure all that works, and then we can try to use that to do like our first undo step or something in the game. Undo for lazy programmers, as Dennis says. Right, so we need to load from file. I don't know what to call this anymore. File name level is string, objects string level. Yeah, this is the level file name, objects file name. I currently only have one level. I'm probably gonna have a lot of trouble at some point when I want multiple levels, but we'll see, because I'm gonna have like the second level is gonna be in space, which is totally different. So I'm probably gonna be like, oh no, I have to maybe that will be procedurally generated or more or something, or placed in completely different ways. So we'll see, but maybe I can reuse some of this editor for that. Load from file. Okay, so we have a serial state, and then and this bool here is just true if we succeeded. So we take this guy, put it in here. Oops, and then we press a lot of funny buttons. And for some reason no, never mind. We read entire file objects.json. Can I check something here? Unmarshal. This is the. Okay, I was thinking if this one, if I could take this is correct. I was thinking if this one had a file version, but no. This is okay. I will just tweak. This is the objects file name, and I will use the temp allocator. Why does this say? Oh, just say okay. It's fine. Is this where I can use the funny or return thing actually? Can I do like objects equals read entire file or return? I think that should work, because what this thing does is this one returns two values. It returns my objects data, that's what you call it, and then it returns bool for okay or not, and then or return will pop off the last thing there, and just if that one was false, it will return. Yeah, I think this one requires named arguments like this. Yeah, we'll see. I'm a bit all new to all those fancy olden features. Okay. So we read the entire file. This is our serialized object. Serialized state. We'll have a serialized object, so we can probably just do like this. We can say state dot object types. So with this named argument, this named return values, you will already have in this the scope of this function procedure. You will have one variable called state, and it will be default initialized to a totally zeroed thing. So I can just, this unmarshal thing here, I can just say like that. And this code here is actually, did I cut this code instead of copying it? Because I need some of this. Okay, okay, let me, because currently I'm just returning the serialized state. I'm not gonna put it into the runtime format, which this also does currently. Because this one currently goes over all the objects in the old code. So I think I just need to do this. So I can just say if this thing failed, then I return, then I said okay to, I can just return actually. Okay will be false. And in this case, I set okay to true when I return. Because state here, so whenever you use named return values, you need to be explicit where you return. But anyways, then I set okay to true, and then I'm done. Well, I'm not done. I haven't read the level yet. I've only read the objects file name, which is again this file. So I've read part of the serialized state. But we can start like that. Let's do like this. Serialized state equals load from file. Currently called level out.json. It's because I only have one level right now, so they just call weird things right now. Objects.json. So it's a big problem if we couldn't load the level right. What happens then? Oh well, let's do like this. If serialized state, okay. So we check if the return value is true, and we have a serialized state. And then we can do something like this, where we take the serialized state and whatever it's called, object types apparently. Why does this one take out the index? It doesn't need it. Serialized, let's call it SOT, serialized object type. Oh, let's just call it S. Don't have to do so much crap. This is some hack. No, this is just for copying names. Because oh wait. This is not gonna work. Because this one just unmarshalled using the temp allocator, and then it returns, which might. No, okay. The temp allocator returns at it's freed at a fixed point, such as in update in like main.odin. Here I free the temp allocator, but still I don't really like I don't like assuming when the temp allocator is done or not. I kind of like thinking as if I use the temp allocator and leave the scope where I used it, then I'm like all bets are off. I think to me that's a healthy idea. Okay. But I will need to, so in any case, I need to, when it unmarshals stuff using JSON, right? Then in objects.json, I have names on some things, and these names will of course be allocated somehow, and they will be allocated using the allocator I gave to JSON.unmarshal here. So I think I'm just gonna do like this. What does this serialized objects here? Okay, then it's object subtype. Okay. I will steal this code, go over here and say like, oh, serialized objects. So I will go over all these, my serialized object types. I just need to duplicate the name using a normal allocator. So for object type in serial state.object types, and then we switch, and this one has a name in it that I need to fix up a bit. Then I can ignore that. I will clean that memory up later. Let's call it OT for sake of being samey. So this file, this has loaded the objects file and it says it's okay. And then I go over all the object types and I add them like this. I think this should work. It's just destructor. Oh, yeah. Serialized objects. The reason I did it like this, I could just have my objects as an array, but the JSON serializer doesn't like when there's an array as the root object. It exploded a bit then. So I was like, okay, guess I'll do like that. Serialized state has object types. Okay, so this is more like serial object. I'm just gonna call this objects because it's and this one contains then so it's object.objects. Oh well. Oh yeah, of course this is state.object.objects, and this one is st is fine here. So this I switch over which subtype of object this is. Not so important what that means. It's just I have different subtypes of object types, and this one, specifically this one, has a name in it. Now it's compiled. And we reset the game, and it worked. Since this worked, I mean, we can. It probably complains about a memory leak, but that's not the important thing here. Fix that later. Yeah, so that worked. So that's a bit tidier. So let's move the level loading code now. Level coding code does lots of unnecessary. I wrote this code very early in the game. It manually checks the file size. There is a file function that I used up there for the objects. Just load the entire file, which is what I want to do. So I'm gonna steal all this. Essentially, I just need to do it on Marshall. So I'm gonna say, wait, this one I don't use. Objects data. This is instead level data is level file name. So I've read the entire file, and this means I can remove all this. And then I say JSON on Marshall level data into state.level. Okay. So that will make sure that this one is filled out with all my tiles and all my object positions and all my nice stuff. So now I just need to make the code that also processes the imported stuff. And like I said, we're doing this just to clean it up a bit. So we maybe can make the undo redo using the serialized stuff. What's this? Object type. Yeah, so when the level contains objects, these reference a type. And so this one already does this for me. Does this code really? Yeah, okay, yeah, it does work. So this object lookup, let's see here. Yeah, there's a couple of different things that's going on here. Free object types. Okay. But this is actually all okay. Whatever. There was just this code is for cleaning up the lookup of all the object types, and then it adds an empty one at the beginning because I use the first index as like no object instead of having to have error checks everywhere, so it doesn't. So if you use handles, then you can use if you have the objects, like in object position you have the type, and if the type is 0, that means you'd have no type. But you can still look up the object with type 0 and it returns an object, but it's just this is just the object type that represents no object. And you can kind of go on a bit like this in several layers and just actually get editors that don't crash or work in unexpected ways by using you can easily just return 0 as like there's nothing, and also this makes 0 as initialization, where you can have the object position, you can just init without specifying the type, and then it's still valid data. It doesn't, because if the type with object type handle 0 is a valid one, then the moment you initialize an object position with that to 0, it refers to some type that you didn't mean it to do or whatever. But so that's why I do these kind of things sometimes. But that I don't need to care about, because that's when it deserializes state. I don't need to care about that right now, at least. I have this object lookup, and it maps the object ID to the handle, and that is used to fetch the IDs in the level file and map them to the actual handle used in this runtime data. Right. So what I need to do now is to take all this code, go up here, paste it here, and then I say, let's make this a bit shorter. So we say serialized state dot level dot object positions, and keep that silly LFEP, which means level format and entity position, because I renamed things from entities to objects at some point. And then we have tiles, and I think this would compile. No, it won't. Append to entity positions, because this came from the load level function, when there's actually no reason for it to do that. I have down here it says gmem.world object positions equals object positions, and this used to be here and used to be fed into load level, and then it's a bit processed afterwards here. And this code should, of course, yeah, this code should also go in here. This code does some stuff where it goes over all the objects and then it sets up some animations, and it also checks like, oh, was it a cat you placed? Then it sets the cat's position and stuff. But I'm probably gonna I have an idea that I'm gonna try tomorrow to change all the game position stuff to make it a bit more like I want to work with it, because currently it's a bit messy. So these don't exist in this code up here, so I will cut them out and put them here. It's called entity positions, but it should actually be called object positions. And this one is tiles. I put little ampersands in front because now these are no longer pointers, because they were sent in as pointers to load level, but like down here. And then I will take all this. Yeah, we'll see. I think this all this code should run anytime you. We'll see exactly what code runs when you do undo steps and not. And now I can do the funny thing where I just delete the whole load level, and I can delete all of this, and then it compile on the first try. Wow. Yay! That's good. So just to recap, what happened now is I have this function that loads something from a file name of a level and an object file name, which is two different objects I have, and it unmarshals them and then keeps them in sort of, this is the serialized state, keeps those separately, and then it does the runtime state thingy magic to bring it into the actual game within this code. So that's all good. I'm thinking now, weird to put all this stuff, how to make it nice so I can actually use it for my undo redo stuff. And now there's a car reversing outside. Going ping, ping, ping. Hmm. Okay, I will just quickly try to do. I won't be. I don't have time to do all of this now. I will do. I will try to put my serialized state somewhere separately so that I can just reset from that instead of resetting by going to disk, and that's sort of a good stopping point for today. So I will take this load from file, blah blah blah. I'll put it here. I will say serialized. Can't type. Serialized state from files. Blah blah blah. This should still compile. Let's do it in sections. And what I do at this in game init now. Okay, in game init now I say like this. Let's just do like this. Gmem dot serialized state. This is probably gonna be not even exist here in the end, but I just want to test it by having a key I can press. State okay, and then I say if not state okay. And here I probably want to do, I'm just gonna do like a where is the like, can I just do like assert state okay, failed to load state from disk. Okay. Let's remove this nesting. Like that, it should still compile. Of course it doesn't, because okay, there's a couple of different things here. State okay must be a bool. And then in game memory, I must have a serialized state that is a serialized state variable. This will still not compile because these depend on this being now. I will do something like this. I will take the pointer to that one. And then I can reset it, all still works. And now, so now when I run game init, which happens when I start the game or reset the game, it takes serialized state and puts the load stuff from the disk and puts it into serialized state. That's very good. Now I just need a function to actually take that stuff and just put it into the runtime state. Which will be sort of like an interesting little soft reset, because currently in the game I can press F6. What F6 does is it runs game shutdown. It tears down all the memory, and then it runs game init, and it sets up all the memory again, including loading the lever from disk and blah 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 blah, deserializing stuff. But I think I can make like a soft reset. There will be some funny things maybe. a bit of a state, because I need to make sure that all the state that actually needs to be reset is reset. So we'll see. Yeah, we'll try that. We will try that. Sorry, I'm just thinking a bit here. Let's say something like deserialize state proc. This one will take a serialized state, and it will go crazy and do lots of things. So what it needs to do first is to do whatever game shutdown does that we need to reset the world things. I think we need to do... I don't want to touch these things, I think. And I don't want... object types I need to fix. Okay. I don't want to duplicate these things, because that will lead to memory leaks. Let's try this. I'm gonna make a little scope here, and I'm gonna call this free world state or something. I don't know. And this one, where did I cut that code from? Where was it in the hierarchy? It was just after tile stuff. Just to make sure it's all in the same. So now game shutdown does that, but this will do sort of the same. And then it will take the serialized state and bring it in. So it's done all that. That's nice. And I think it needs to do some additional thing. Game init. Why does this one need to clear the object types when it's obviously deleted here? And then free object type. Wait, shutdown. What does this code even do? It's like delete object types, and then it goes over all the object types. How did that ever work? Oh, okay, it never actually freed the names because it was already deleted. Anyways, we need to do this. Delete the free object types. That's a free list of object types. Okay. Because I think delete will sort of set the length and everything to 0. I imagine. Maybe it doesn't. But I guess... Maybe it doesn't. I'm not sure. How do I know this? If does delete the whatever is left after run delete, does that still have the length on the array set or not? That's sort of important, because if it does, then you can run delete and just assume that anything that tries to iterate the array won't matter. Oh well. Oh well. Never mind that. So I do this, and then I want to deserialize my state. So I think I can take this. I don't want to do again. I want to take all this and say, hey, you do all this. And then I want to run this one. Deserialized state. I want to run it here, and I want to say gmem.serialized state. Like that. So now it loads from disk, and then it deserializes it. And what this one does, it frees the world state. That won't probably do anything. Okay, and it also needs to do this, I think. We will notice soon if what the delete thing does. I will check. Don't need to worry. Okay, it all compiled. And I could reset, and since I can reset without everything blowing up, let me check. Okay, object type. Let me check fmt.println g length of gmem.object types. This is what I want to check. What length does that one have after a delete? Sometimes. Eh? First it's like, wait, do I have more prints in my... Oh, okay, good. Okay. So delete, the reason it says 10 is because at first it just runs free world state during shutdown and then prints this, and then it still has the length. Okay. So in that case, I need to do this. Is this how you should do it? Because in this case, fmt.println length of gmem.object types is what? Oh, no, now it's always 0. Okay. Guess that's fine. I mean, it's not totally unreasonable, because delete only does the memory stuff. Okay. Yeah. But it's just I deleted it, and then I wanted to reuse it using like the append function and stuff that automatically will initialize it again. Oh. Okay. Anyways, we're leaking some memory. It's this clone here, because we're not, when we run shutdown, so we have free world state. This one goes over all the object types and deletes the name, which seems to be what it's complaining about. I know why. It's because, or do I know why? Deserialized state. Does this one do the clone again currently? No, it doesn't. It just takes the object types and does all the stuff. Oh, wait. Yeah. Oh, maybe it is load from files. I think I know why it go. This one iterates by takes the pointer, but this one doesn't. So it never actually, this st it sets the name on here is just a value. That's why. Now I can reset all my I want and it still works fine. Okay, good. So I have my free world state, which is more like, yeah, that's a deserialized state of the objects and the level from the serialized state that I free. Blah, 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 blah. And now I think I should be able to do something funny like this. So I have like .f2 that says editing equals true. So I want to make a new hotkey in like game update. Maybe I do it at the top, maybe I do it at the bottom. I don't know. I'm currently not using F8, I think. Does nothing. It's just a test. Deserialize state from gmem.serialized state. What? So it doesn't work properly yet. Then it crashed. Perfect. So some of it doesn't work properly. But it's probably because there's a mismatch between what game shutdown does and free world state does. Deserialized state. Free world state. Wait, does this even... Yeah, it says object position. I'm just thinking it would be nice if there was like... I mean, I can do like this. I can take all these and just... But yeah, I will ask smart people later what they think is the best way to do this. Because I'm a bit confused. This is this one, that's that one. Now they're all... Okay, it's still a bit broken, but it's probably something easy. So what I'm comparing here is I press F6 and then I get to a full reset where it tears down all the memory and everything. And then I press F8, which is just supposed to deserialize the state. And that one does not do so well. So there's something more. None of this matters. It's probably something in game init that matters. Okay, if I don't do you guys, does it still work? Yes. Okay. Let me see. Deserialize state. Wait. No, this is okay. I was thinking like, what does all this stuff do? Font, init asset storage. That's fine. Doesn't matter. None of this matters. Wait, I think I know what happened. Free world state goes in and deletes this. But this name, this should never happen here. Because this is part of the serialized state. I don't know. Oh, and then maybe there's enough. Not sure. Anyways, this should go somewhere here. It should be like gmem.serialized state. I can just leak this memory for now to see if it works. Leak until you find something. Okay, so it just ends up with a single tile. That's very interesting. Why do we get this area? Oh wait, I know why. I think is it a temp allocator again? It deserializes big lists of stuff. That was smart. Okay. So I go to serialized state from files and I go here. I don't do any of this. And then I actually don't need to do this anymore. And then I will fix the memory leak later. Yeah, there you go. So there we go. So now I press F6. When I press F6, there's sort of a little bit of lag. If I press F8, it's almost immediate. That's the difference. The only difference here is that one of them goes to disk and then reads JSON and makes that JSON into structs that the game can use. And the other one just uses those structs immediately to throw the memory into the runtime state. And that's more or less instant. Okay, now I can use this to I will make sure that the save, I haven't even looked at the save function yet. The save function should of course output a serialized state. Well, the save function should do two things. First, it should be like, okay, make a serialized state and then save that to disk, two separate things. And then the save is still gonna do that, but then when I want my undo redo steps, it will take whenever I need to make an undo step, it will do whatever save does, make a serialized state, but put it in a list to have as undo so that I can walk back and forth in. But that's for another time, because now I'm done for today. Thank you for watching. And now I will click this button.